Pick the logo to play part 3.
But see, if all you're doing is speaking online, that may not necessarily help that. I'm not saying it necessarily hurts it.
No, it's just, no, I'm not saying it helps or anything like that. It's just there's certain people that don't want to get out of their norm that they know to get there.
I don't know what just happened. And I was saying, it may help them because it may teach them to, in some way, socialize with people. But at the same time, I don't know. The internet can kind of make monsters of people. Anytime you go, the more time, I have a theory that the more time you spend on 4chan, the worse of a person you become over time. It poisons you from the inside. Like, it's like, I make a reference to Dragon Age Origins, but no one's played it, no one cares, so never mind. But it's like a poison from the inside. It's like, darkens your soul the more time you spend on 4chan. But that's just my theory.
Reading or writing a meme, or meme, whatever it is as terrible as writing fan fiction of Mein Kampf. Or Kampf, whatever. Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf.
He sat there in the rain as the mud was on his feet.
Man,
Edward
Rope around his neck. Horse at the other end.
And Twilight fanfiction. My sister just sits there and reads Twilight fanfiction all the time.
Again, if you're watching this, Twilight's pretty lame.
Another thing, what about on the internet using voice communication with a headset?
That's
How
true.
is that detrimental to your social?
See,
I wouldn't say
But
it.
then you're not trying the typing.
Yeah.
a lot of majority though, I mean, obviously we've done it, you know, writing scripts or doing whatever, voice chatting, but 9 out of 10 times people who use voice chat are generally in-game or doing something where they can't type.
There is a feature, though, on Skype. Apparently no one knows of it. I found out about it a little while ago. But there is a... you can join public chats on Skype. There are things like debates on different topics, like stem cell research. You can jump in and have a debate with, like, 40 other people. I don't know if it's actually worth anything, because I've never done it, but I've seen that they have that option available. And that, if used properly, could be really, really cool. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I like to use voice chat instead of typing because it's easier. It's like, it's kind of like sit there and be like, blah, 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 instead of having to be like,
Yeah, it's a lot less constricted.
There's also the, you know, there's also the fear of, I know the time. I am right by the big-ass monitor. Okay.
I was trying to do that all nonchalantly.
Yeah, but it's not, yeah. It's like, or like,
That is a pretty sneaky move right there.
the text, you know, seriously. You can't just say, yeah, you want me to put up the website. How hard is that? It's not like it's going to change.
Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting!
So that's what I'm saying. There's also the bad things like job interviews and stuff like that. Whatever you post on the internet will come back and haunt you no matter what.
Yes.
Job interviews, any job, you know, new job offerings, now they check your MySpace.
Well, not
they
all
check
of
your,
them, but
most of them now do
Smart
to
ones.
check. It,
Yeah,
yeah,
smart
it's smart
ones,
because you can see how they, you know, how they act in actual real life. Because the work you could be completely different than the real you.
yeah, but if you're, you know, there's a time for place and there's a time for work.
There's a time for place.
Yes.
Or time for play. Sorry, mine's getting ahead of itself.
AKA, he's a moron.
I hate you guys.
I see what you mean. Like, you can't really, like, you might actually, like, it's like what you do behind closed doors. Why should they care about that?
Yeah, like my wife has a
That's
friend.
job.
His dad used to own a landscaping company, and he pretty much passed it on to his son. Says, "I want to retire. Company's yours." Right? This dude, as far as I know, is pretty much an alcoholic. He drinks all the time. He parties all the time. He's a crazy guy.
The dad or the
But
son?
the son. But when it came to working, he's one of the hardest working people I know. He never shows up drunk. Never shows up with a hangover. He might show up with a hangover. I don't know.
But he'll still work through. He's not going to...
Yeah.
He's not just going to sit there and be like, oh,
So because there's pictures of him on his MySpace where he literally has a wall in his kitchen made out of beer cans Like literally, he has like 1,000 beer cans in his kitchen, but he still works when he has to. So if a job's like, oh well, this guy drinks, so I'm not going to hire him. Your work performance shouldn't be judged off of what you do in your free time.
And then again, any place that doesn't want you to drink outside of work is probably
Because,
some kind of like
okay, just
business,
remember,
like, oh,
Well, for example, my job, we're not allowed to smoke weed or anything, obviously, because you get drug tested.
Most jobs you'll find that you can't.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because, right? You guys get what I'm saying. Anyways, I can understand the employer, before they hire you, if they see pictures of you on your MySpace and you're with all your friends, lighting doobie.
You have yourself photoshopped on Michael Phelps' body with that one picture.
But just remember, there's also the fact that you're representing a company. You're a worker. If you're out there partying and people know that you work there, they might associate that with that company.
Yeah,
that's the idea of what
if you work
I'm coming.
at McDonald's,
You gotta play the devil advocate, because think about it. You're thinking as a company. You don't want your employees to be bad mouthing your, representing your company wrong. Like Microsoft was going to hire Seth MacFarlane to do a show, but when he heard some of the jokes, they decided, no, we're not going to do it, because they were talking about like killing Jews and stuff like the Holocaust.
See, I thought it was just more like, God, this sucks.
No, it was like bad jokes and stuff like that. Like,
that's what I'm
think Andy was.
yeah, I know.
But
yeah, you're representing that person. You don't want to show them in a bad light.
Again, only people who do that are like big name companies or whatever. If you work at like construction, nobody looks at the workers. They're just like, oh, look, there's a worker guy. I'm not gonna look into his profile somehow.
Ooh, fresh meat. Go carry this wood over there.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'll do it. Yeah, he like does it. And he's like, oh, more power.
Ooh. Isn't he the
And then he's like,
Well,
you need to watch the video of this podcast if you're just listening.
Yeah, honestly,
Okay,
I've never seen. I only recently saw people do drugs like that. You get like tin foil and like rub stuff on it, and they burn under the tin foil and like get a straw and breathe it in. It's weird.
well, I think
I never saw. I only saw
Is
it
it
recently, and I'm like, what the?
so. I think we actually covered most of our stuff that we talked about. What we wanted to talk about, right?
I'm pretty sure we
Probably.
covered it all.
Yeah, doesn't matter anyway. We're running overtime. So.
Yes.
So do you
Want to wrap it up, Ben?
I don't know what should I say.
just talk about what we have again? Mention that.
We did
Whore us out, and then
Yeah.
Tumblr.
You're like, man, there's this site, man.
Tumblr, Gmail.
What is our Tumblr?
I still exist. Rapscallions Report at gmail.com or rapscallionsreport.tumblr.com, or you can search Rapscallions Report on Facebook or iTunes. It's the same.
And Twitter.
And Twitter at r underscore
Underslash.
report. R underscore report.
yes, r_report, and you can also see us on YouTube at youtube.com/Rapscallions Report.
Wow, we need to tell them that.
They should be watching it on.
But if they're listening to
Well,
the
it's probably,
podcast,
If you're listening to the podcast,
probably,
yeah.
you're probably gonna find it here first.
But
Maybe.
well,
anyways,
Hi.
that was episode 3. Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Have a good
Or I
night.
hope you enjoyed the show.
You
I'm
jerk.
not going to stop talking. What the hell?
Where were my IHOP